Hello guys, eTech99 here and welcome to this sort of round 18 review. Obviously there was no streams this week, so I felt like I needed to do something for this round of football. So yeah, this is what we're getting. We're getting a review of the round that was and seeing how teams went. So let's get into it. So the first game in this round was actually the North Queensland Cowboys up against the Cronulla Sharks. Second against fourth, a huge game in terms of circumstances for the sort of like, you know, getting into like the qualifying rounds, if you will, for the finals. But it was a very tight game. It was only about 14 points to 12 at half time, but obviously the Cowboys did have a bunch of players out because they were representing the Queensland team. And Nico Hines actually was back for the Cronulla Sharks, and the Sharks did really well. Jesse Ramian getting 2 tries to kick off the scoring. And the second half, there's a little bit of contention that people were saying that there was a little bit of somewhat controversy in terms of calls, but the Sharks were able to run away with it, finishing 26 points to 12. And honestly, a very solid win. As a person who's very much criticized them, like, yes, they're in the top 4, but they haven't really shown a lot to prove that they deserve to be in the top 4. They deserve it now. They've knocked off the Cowboys. It should be... It's a fantastic result for them. So, and if we line up with my predictions, did I get this one right? No. No, I didn't. Yeah, I went with the Cowboys in this game. I just thought, I don't know. It's whatever. But anyways, so not a good start to the predictions. Now we go to the Parramatta Eels against the New Zealand Warriors. Pretty much Parramatta just ran away with it. Pretty much it was 28 points to 6. With like 10 to go, and the Warriors did end up scoring 2 late tries to make the final score in that game 28 points to 18, which probably didn't help them, but boy did it help me, because out of all the games that I put multis on, this was the one game where it actually hit. So here it is here. This is what I needed, and it all pretty much happened in like repeated succession. You got Montoya scoring, then Papali'i, Gutherson, and then Sevo, and then I needed it to go over 40. Over like 44 points, I believe. But, and luckily, Edward Cozy and Jack Murchie got those 2 late tries for the Warriors. So, very happy with that. I feel like this is a good win for Parramatta. I don't think they played too great. They did left their foot off the brake, which probably against the Warriors with that late left is probably fine, but they can't do that next week against the Broncos. They really need to pull their heads together. I think it was actually an alright performance by the Warriors. It's just Parramatta, like, obviously are trying to vie for a home final. Basically, that's pretty much the motivation there for the Eels. Now we go on to the Saturday games. We first start off with an absolute belter of a game. It was the Sydney Roosters up against the St George Dragons at Central Coast Stadium, which it's an alright stadium to watch football. Probably not, because I mean, the only problem is it has one entrance, and if you arrive like just short before kickoff, you're going to be out there for about 10 minutes. I have personal experience from that. But it didn't look like it was going to turn into this absolute belting. It was a very close game. It was 14-12 at halftime to the Dragons. And then just something happened, and it just absolutely brought the onslaught from the Roosters. Connor Watson, I believe, getting his first try for the Roosters back, obviously, in his second stint with the club. And then you just had 8 from 9 conversions from Sam Walker. He had a good game. Then you have Manu, Tedesco, Momorowski. I didn't expect this to happen. The points just came rolling in, with the Roosters getting obviously 54 points, which you know the rule. The 9 teams could stay at 50, and they got onto it in the grand final. I fucking hate hearing that. I hate it. I hate that rule. But yeah, so it's a very good performance there by the Roosters. I think it's weird how we've seen in the last couple of games where teams have scored like high points but still ended up losing. It happened last week with the Knights when they scored 28 but still lost. Now yet this game where the Dragons lost 26 and lost, and I think there's going to be a few more of them coming into the rest of the round. Now we go into the Saturday 5:30 game. It was the Manly Seagulls against the Newcastle Knights. I mean, again, very similar. It was close. It was 14-6 at half time. Milford got sin bin. I didn't know that happened, but I actually genuinely did not know that happened in his 200th game. The Knights did get the first try. Crucially got the first try in the second half. It was Kalen Ponga who got the try. He's like, yes. A little bit of that Origin magic finally starting to come in. And then the Knights immediately took their foot off the brake, and the Roosters scored 5 unanswered. Not the Roosters, the Sea Eagles scored 5 unanswered tries. It ended up 42 points to 12. It's like, it's kind of typical with the Knights. It's like, we keep it close, but then once we know, like, oh, the game's probably out of reach, we just give up, and then the other teams just put insurmountable amount of points on us, and obviously make it look like it was an absolute thrashing. So now we go into the final game on Saturday. Of course, the Gold Coast Titans up against the Brisbane Broncos. By God, this was close. A very, very good crowd. 19,245. A fantastic crowd. I mean, obviously, it's a local derby, so there's going to be a lot of people out for this. The Baby Broncos, again, just enough to be able to hold on against the Titans. I think the Titans played fantastic this game, though. It's like they, that's like the Titans are. It's like they maybe might falter against, like, lower teams, but they can, on their day, they can definitely challenge some of the big guns in the comp. It's just, yeah, it was just unfortunately, just a very close game, and the Broncos were just able to hang on there. So I think it's a good moral position there for the Titans, but obviously Brisbane continue that win so they can continue their charge for the finals. No, they're pretty much in the finals. I mean, I don't know. And I got that one prediction correct. I did think the Broncos were going to win. Not that closely, but I thought it was going to be the other way. Now we go on to the first game on Sunday. It is the West Tigers up against the New South Wales Cup Penrith Panthers team. I mean, to be fair, there was actually a lot of players from the start. I think about like 6 of the players that play Origin weren't playing, but yeah, I said in my predictions this is going to be Panthers going to put 50 on it, but obviously the Tigers definitely tried. They tried really hard. They were even ahead at a point. It wasn't until like James Fisher-Harris tried in the 73rd minute and the ending up of the conversion where the Panthers actually took the lead. So I think, though the Panthers played probably a little bit crap, obviously, I mean, like, obviously a lot of the players, of their star players were out. I still think this is a fantastic result for Penrith. You know, it's like, they can know that they can put their sort of like their B team in, and they can still go on and get the job done. Just commiserations to the Tigers. I mean, it's just very unfortunate. And they did really well. They could have done it, but it's just unfortunate. And yes, I did get this prediction correct, but I thought it was going to be a blowout, but obviously it wasn't. Now we go on to the Melbourne Storm and Canberra Raiders game, and obviously there is a lot to talk about in terms of the issue with the Melbourne Storm. Pappenhausen, he has injured his knee. I think he's broken his kneecap, that's what I've heard, that is a huge problem. Apparently I've heard that could be season ending, so that for the Storm is a lot of trouble because Pappenhausen has been missing for the last couple of weeks, and the Storm have really been not that great in their previous games, and it kind of reflected again today that yesterday technically, when the Raiders won, and I predicted this somehow of this happening, but yeah, even still, Rapana going into the bin at the 56th minute, and the Raiders just being able to hang on there and get a very big win. I think this is their first win down in Melbourne probably since the 2019 finals. Was it the I think it was a semi-final, or was it a prelim final? No, it was a semi-final. So yeah, very big win for Canberra. Obviously wanted to get into their charge to get into the finals. The Storm losing 3 in a row, which is very uncharacteristic of them. So Melbourne really need to step up, especially if they get the news that Pappenhausen will be out for the season. And now we go to the final game of the round. It was the Canterbury Bulldogs up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And again, it's another high-scoring affair. Almost very similar to the South's last game when they played the Knights. It was, the Bulldogs did put up a high score, but unfortunately, the last 10 minutes there by the Rabbitohs were able to clinch the win. And arguably probably the game of the round. Arguably, you could even make a case for easily probably top 5 game of the season. But yeah, there we go. The Rabbitohs able to get the win there. I feel like this is obviously a good win. The Bulldogs have been a bit of a fortress somewhat at ANZ. So for the Rabbitohs who play Melbourne next week, obviously with Pappenhausen now, this could actually properly be the start for the Rabbitohs to actually go on this charge for the finals that their fans are talking about. I did get this prediction wrong. I did think the Bulldogs were going to win this game. But yeah, it was a fantastic game nonetheless. Latrell Mitchell got a try. So he finally did something to warrant the NRL basically giving him the Gluck special. So he's a good player. It's just some of the NRL propaganda around him has been a bit excessive. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the Round 18 review. How did you guys go in your tipping? I went 6 of 8, which is actually fairly decent. It's just, obviously with hindsight, I probably would have still stuck with the Cowboys. Maybe might have changed to the Rabbitohs, but whatever. I mean, that's just all hindsight and everything. But, so this video will be coming out on the Monday, well, today, when I'm recording this. And, tomorrow will be the obviously the scheduled tips and predictions video for round 19. I'm going to be on this today. If you're watching this on the Monday, I will probably at this point be about to go fly down to Melbourne to watch Manchester United play Crystal Palace. So that should be fun. Might do a vlog it probably. I mean, I might do a vlog of it. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.